Good morning, everyone. This is Shelley Shearer, and my company is Living Well with Shell. Merry Christmas, everyone. You know, it's just such a crazy time of the year, but I thought I'd take a moment and introduce some new products that Living Well with Shell is carrying. These are products that are actually manufactured and designed by a man in Alberta, Canada. They are sold in the States as well. I'm unable to ship to the States, so if you are one of my United States listeners, please just contact me and I'll put you in touch with the proper distributor. These are not a multi-level marketing company. This is true retail products. Living Well with Shell has registered as one of the retailers. They are products that I have been on for the better part of a year and have found fabulous results. So anyone that has known me for a number of years knows that health is very important to me, and I'm a little bit of a health nut to a certain extent. However, 3 years ago, I contracted quite acute fibromyalgia, and it changed my whole world. I used to be an incredibly active person. I overworked myself. I just wasn't living stress-wise as healthily as I should. I made sure everything else in my life happened with nutrition and exercise, but tended to overdo a lot of things. And I've been self-employed for most of my adult life, so you can imagine that, being a single mother. Later in life, I met my husband, we built a house. It's just a constant level of activity and stress that took its toll, and unfortunately, after 2 bad car accidents, this seems to be the diagnosis I was given. I have spent over a year getting myself functioning again. It was not an easy task, I have to admit, in the fact that they had on me on some terrible drugs. They were great at the beginning because the pain threshold was so high when I was first diagnosed. Like I say, it came on quite acutely and quite quickly. And I was so grateful for the Cymbalta when they first put me on it. It gave me 3 months relief, and I was able to kind of look at my life and say, okay, do some research, get some peace, because I was spiraling quite quickly because of the pain. And unfortunately, with excessive pain comes depression, which I've struggled in my adult life with anyways. The Cymbalta was wonderful for a period of time. I went off in the summer when I got on some, what I consider some eating habits, and I gave up the drinking and anything that was sort of inflammatory or that might kind of set my immune system on edge. But unfortunately, a few months later, I had to go back on them. But that time, one of the side effects is serious suicidal thoughts. And unfortunately, that hit me. And then they had to put me on antidepressants. So you see where I'm going with this? It was sort of a constant round of just more and more prescription drugs. And that long term, I'm 51 years of age, and I was only 48 when I was diagnosed. That can cause serious damage to your livers and kidneys being on long-term drugs like that. So I had to start looking for ways to cope and manage. Okay? A neighbor came to me, and she recommended the True Hope products. Now, True Hope, the cameras are always funny because I'm looking at the screen, but it's the camera I need to be looking at. The True Hope products here are specifically designed to deal with mental health. Now, why I mention this is, one, when you are suffering from low moods or depression, or like myself, a lot of brain fog, one of the side effects of fibro is serious brain fog. Once I got the pain under control and could sort of manage my life and get good sleep, that's really the kind of the basis of how Shelley functions fully. As long as I sleep, I can function, and I can usually put up with most things. You take away my sleep and you start wearing my immune system down, then we have a month like October where I'm in bed for a month and have to be rushed to the hospital because my body just can't fight it. I just wear it down to nothing. The mental health part of these and the brain fog part of this was what was debilitating for my ability to work. Yes, I couldn't sit long periods of time to do bookkeeping, but I was able to still coach and do a lot of my research. I have a gift of knowledge, and when you look into the sacred gifts, I love to learn and I love to share what I learn. Hence why I'm doing this video. But these particular products, one of the products they put me on was a product called EMP, and I'm terribly sorry. As I step out of the camera line, I apologize. EMP is specifically designed for mental health. Now, the gentleman that actually designed these particular supplements had a family, like a large family. He had multiple children and a wife that seriously struggled with things like bipolar, depression, little bits of the beginning of dementia. There was just a huge history in his family, and he just decided that he needed to find a better way. So EMP was his answer to that. This is a product that is specifically designed with supplementation that is designed for mental clarity. Okay, so that's completely what it's designed for. It runs $60 retail plus GST, and one of the products that goes very, very well with it is inositol. Now, inositol is actually derived from B-complex vitamins, and it works like a carrier pigeon, actually, to your cells, is a little bit how they describe it. So when you are looking to get your supplementation to the cellular level at a better absorption rate, inositol is something you can just add to your orange juice, to your water, to your protein shake in the morning. It's a powder format, and it runs $55 a month. Now, some of the extra things that I take because of, my health issues, the fibro is only one part of it. I need the mental clarity, but I also have a deteriorating hip. And that is genetic. Now, unfortunately, arthritis has settled into it. Years ago, it was bursitis. I set it off, unfortunately, playing squash far too late into my 40s, not realizing that the socket was deteriorating. So when the bursitis settled in, I sort of dealt with it on that level, and it really kind of ruined my game for a year. I played, pathetically. But I was the captain of the team, and, my team was great. But I could barely play. Excuse me, because I couldn't lunge. I couldn't put weight on that hip, because 9 times out of 10 it gave way on me, and it was excruciatingly painful. When I had x-rays later, I discovered that actually I have hip dysplasia. And it makes sense because my son has it really badly, and we discovered it when he was just 3 years of age. I took him into the doctor. He was incredibly pigeon-toed, and we realized he had hip dysplasia. And back then, they could have put him into boots when he was quite younger, but really all they said was at this point, just take up sports where he is pushing, so rollerblading, ice skating, working the muscles to keep the feet straight, and the body will sort of correct itself. Well, the body has an amazing ability to build around itself, and the reason I mention that as well is one of the next supplements is about joint and cartilage. I tore the meniscus in my knee years ago. I was running with my boyfriend, and he was a marathon runner. I was a mountain biker, rollerblader, and weightlifter. I did not do a lot of cardio sports. I couldn't stand aerobics. And although I jogged lightly, not a serious runner. And I went out with him one day and went from my home down to my parents' property, which is downhill, quite a distance. So I was in really, really great shape. So it wasn't the run was too hard on the lungs and the body, it was just too hard on the knee. We got down, it was the summertime, we got down, I jumped in the pool and started kicking and screamed. So I tore the meniscus in my knee and had to have that lasered and dealt with through therapy. And then through my whole life, I had to really concentrate on my weight training to keep those lateral muscles very strong around that kneecap and that meniscus, okay? But that was, 15, 20 years ago. Now I'm in my 50s, and with the hip that's deteriorating, the nerve damage or the nerve overload from the fibro, I calcified my T-band, which is quite easy to do, people, from inactivity and lack of manipulation, and it pools in that knee now. So that particular knee, and I'm reaching for it, sorry on the camera, that particular knee now gives me a lot of pain all the time, and it swells up. So I use a topical anti-inflammatory when I have to. I use my essential oils, but I take supplements for it. Now, that particular supplement, there's a couple of things I take here. What I want to talk to you about is Olay. And this is actually an aloe product, and it is used for antifungal, antibacteria, like a probiotic. Because with anything that you put into your body, if your gut is not happy, your body's not happy. You're not absorbing properly, you're causing damage. So a fabulous supplement, but it is in pill format. So that can be a bit of a problem for lots of people. But the product that I want to show you is the BMP plus K2. So I've tried many products over the last 2 years for inflammation, because my hands as well, the arthritis, it's just genetic. My whole family had terrible arthritis by the time they were 60. My aunts, my grandparents' hands were deformed. I used to do my grandfather's hands with warm massages all the time when he got older, when he couldn't play the guitar any longer. So BMP, I'll just let you know that that one runs $55, and these are usually a month. They last a little bit longer because I forget to take my afternoon one. And this is a blend of vitamins and minerals that are designed to promote joint health. But K2 is what someone put me on when they found out of my calcified T-band. So if you have any issues like that, I highly suggest getting on a joint supplement. Now, before I was taking this, before I became a retailer for True Hope, I actually was on Lakota. My husband, someone was telling him about it. Now, I was taking other things, but he wanted me to try this. So I get it at Costco. I bought some. It took a good 2 months to start to work. It really had a long incubation period. but I certainly was doing better with it on it for sure. And I was taking K2 on the side. What K2 does, and it's a very little known supplement, it actually eats up the calcium around your body on where it's deposited around joints and on ligaments. So it can really kind of keep that calcium and calcification under control. So as we get older, fabulous supplement. Alrighty. The other product that we carry is the free aminos. And amino acids are very vital to people over the age of 40, and especially if you are not eating red meat. So if you're a vegetarian or you have cut back on your red meat, I know Keith and I have, my husband and I have, mainly for cost and health, because we've gone to grass-fed meat, which means we only eat it twice a week now. We're really, a huge part of our diet was lamb and red meat in the past. I do not eat chicken. I have blood type AB, it's quite rare, and anybody with an AB or B blood type, if you've ever read the book Eat Right for Your Type, they suggest not eating chicken. We don't digest it well. In fact, once I got it out of my system and eat it now, I get terrible bloating and gas and I'm in a lot of pain. I simply don't digest the lectin in the meat. I can eat chicken broth, things like that is no problem, but the actual meat itself, yeah, it's just not it's a bit of a digestive nightmare, so I don't go there. So free aminos, amino acids come from a large variety of foods. Unfortunately, a lot of them are animal products. And those that don't eat a lot of animal products, as you get hit over the age of 40, our amino acids drop, and we need them for optimal health. So the free aminos are $60 a month as well, including tax, and very, very vital. Now, amino acids, why I'm quite excited about this particular product, at $60 a month, that is very reasonable. Amino acid supplementation is very expensive. I use a product from a company called Jeunesse, it's a network marketing company, and they do an amino acid drink. And I love it, but it's $2 or $3 a serving. Like, it's very expensive. $2.50 maybe? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So that sometimes isn't always an option. The last item is iodine. And especially men and women, but women, as we start to age, if you think you might have thyroid issues, you want to be taking an iodine supplement. Even if you've gone for blood work and you think perhaps your blood tests are positive, I feel like my dog is barking, which means someone's at the door. I better go check and see who it is. Sorry about that, guys. And this particular type of iodine is actually, I need to read this for you, is produced using an advanced patented process, whereas the iodine is pre-converted to the form needed to promote proper thyroid function. So this has a bit of an advantage over lots of over-the-counter stuff in the fact that it is bioidentical to your body. That was the word I was actually searching for. It is bioidentical to your body and can be used by your body seamlessly. Very, very important. So that's everything, guys. Again, True Hope products, Living Well with Shell, we sell them, we retail them, I can have them shipped to you. If you were in my neighborhood, I'm living in the Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia, Canada market. Happy to drop those off for you or make sure that they get into your hands. Just you can reach me at livingwellwithshell@gmail.com or you can reach us on our website at livingwellwithshell.ca. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.